There was a show that was called Numbers Never Lie, which was false advertising because I'm going to show you numbers that lie. Well, excuse me. Lima is going to show you numbers that lie.
Well,
lie right to your face.
Yeah, I saw this yesterday with the great Johnny Manziel making the rounds again on social media and sparring with people here in Cleveland.
Do I have to share my opinion of him again to do that?
If you want, sure.
I'll do it after you give
You have
the
something
numbers.
new?
No, I don't.
Johnny
I
football?
don't. I'll give you. He did write one thing. Well, he wrote several things I had a problem with, obviously, but I will defend one person right off the rip on what he wrote there, going after one of our friends at another station. But go ahead.
I found it interesting that people can't help themselves because everybody was obviously piling on how bad Johnny Manziel was as a Browns quarterback. And then somebody put the side-by-side of his numbers in his starts versus Shedeur Sanders in his starts, and his numbers appeared to be better, which is unbelievable. Because I remember the Johnny Manziel experience, and it seemed like the worst you could possibly have. He did connect on some deep throws. I do remember that.
It wasn't an offense.
No.
It wasn't an offense. And I remember it distinctly. I remember coming in here and Kevin going, "Why are you excited?" I'm going, "Did you see the passes?" He goes, "Kenny, that's not an offense." And I swear to God, in 5 minutes, I went, "Oh, my God." He goes, "I told you." Like, he changed my mind in 5 minutes before the show. Because listen, say what you will, guy knew a lot about football. And Kevin, right off the rip, was just like, "No, Kenny, that's not an offense. Come on. You know that. That's getting lucky on deep balls."
Well,
that's
Travis Benjamin. I remember he linked up with him a couple times in the
getting behind the defense of a bad football team at that time.
Game.
Because Tennessee's gone through it almost as much as we have here over the last 26 years. And you know what? He was right. This is why I hate some of the numbers. The numbers lie. If you didn't watch Browns football, you would look at the two numbers between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and you would say, Dylan Gabriel needs to be the starter for this football team. Tell me anybody who has eyes or ears if they believe that Dylan Gabriel should be the starter, unless they just hate Shedeur that much. Tell anybody that Dylan should be the starter over Shedeur Sanders based on what they saw and what they heard while they saw it. There's not a chance. And it's the same thing with this idiot. It's the same exact thing.
You're talking about
Johnny,
Manziel, not Shedeur.
And I'll address it one because we got to get over it at some point, guys. Like, I said it to Daryl. I know that our friend at the other station said it. This is his act. Is what he does is he says incendiary things, and he said it months ago. He says silly, incendiary things, gets us to react because it draws more attention to him. And I told you on Monday, and I'll tell you again on Thursday, and I'll say it as long as I have to, but I hope I never have to say it because I hate repeating myself on this stuff. If you walk by some derelict, drunken idiot on the corner of the street and he's yelling things at you, on day one, you're going to pay attention. You're going to see it as you walk by going, "Oh, my God, what's that guy saying?" On day two, when you see some derelict, drunken idiot yelling at the corner of the road and he's still yelling about the same things, you're going to go, "I can't believe that guy is still yelling." On day three, you start to ignore him. And it's been how many years? The story's not changed. An idiot is an idiot is an idiot. We got to move on. It was a bad chapter in our lives as Browns fans. I wanted him to be successful. Everybody wanted him to be successful. Tony wanted him to be successful. Everybody wanted him to be successful. Do you think we like sitting here going over bad quarterback after bad quarterback? No, but the worst part about it is that everybody in Cleveland wanted him to be more successful than him. That's the biggest problem. And the guy who really knew the truth, that one sitting across the way from me here, tried to tell all of us. And I will tell you this, how bad I wanted it for the guy. Now you got me going. How bad I wanted it for the guy. I turned around like I was being shown, like the movie The Penguin. "Oh, God, what are you showing me?" I turned around and walked out of the newsroom as you showed me pictures of what was being sent to you at 2 a.m. Before AI, guys, before Photoshop really became a big thing, I turned around and walked away. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear it. And by the way, him throwing Mike Pettin under the bus of the entire ridiculous, disgusting post that he made. Because he's an idiot, and that's what idiots do. They just show their ass publicly like that. And that's what morons, and I almost said a different word, dummies do. And so let me tell you this. I'll say this for Mike, all right? He don't need me to defend him. He probably doesn't know about it. He probably doesn't care. Mike wanted him to play. Mike wanted him to play. He wanted him to be able to play. He trusted Brian more because Brian is a professional. And Brian knew the offense. And I will tell it until the day is done. If we really want to get into it, I sat there while he talked about how he wanted to play him. I told you about all that. We had, and I've said this on the air before, we've had long conversations with Mike off the air. Now, some of that, obviously, I'm never going to share. But I will tell you this, he wanted him to play because everybody wanted him to play and play well except for the guy who actually had to play. And he went out there and he embarrassed himself and he continues to embarrass himself. And that's why the only corner of anybody that will accept him is in College Station, Texas, because they don't have to worry about what he did with the Browns and how he embarrassed himself.
Where he still can make $30,000 an appearance.
And good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Incredible.
But in my world, he can make $30,000 an appearance in College Station, Texas. But in my world, guys, in our world, it should be our world, he's a derelict moron yelling on the side of the road. And at some point, you got to go to work. I can't listen to you rant and rave about God and everything else. I got to get to a place. Sorry, my life has to continue. I can't keep doing this every 6 months with this moron.
He wasn't a mixed martial arts fight, so you got to give him that.
Congratulations.
If that's considered work right now. But it's why also.
So I'm done.
So obviously, I like Shedeur's potential after 7 games more than Johnny Manziel's potential. But I have to say that's why I also, just because I saw some good throws out of Shedeur, I saw good throws out of Johnny Manziel. I saw good throws out of Gardner Minshew. I saw good throws out of Deshaun Kaiser. Like there's a bunch of every guy in the NFL now, the 60-some quarterbacks that started last year, they all had some nice plays. That doesn't mean they have some great future ahead of them. Like, we're going to need to see a ton more. And fortunately, we will with Shedeur. That's why he's in a honest quarterback competition this time around, not the garbage that everybody was subjected to last year. We're going to get that opportunity where Shedeur is going to get some starts this year. I don't think he's getting traded. I don't think he's getting cut, even though his fans will want him out of here on the first chance the first lolly the trolley chance they get if he doesn't win the quarterback competition. But he's going to get some starts this year. He'll get the opportunity.
The only difference is that there's many differences, but the baseline difference, I should say. The baseline is at least Shedeur tries to help himself. The other guy didn't. The other guy is an idiot. And guys, I'm tired of punching down. It's the same thing I honestly got kind of upset with Jim Bowden yesterday, who had the thing, I'd send Cooper Ingle down. It's a former baseball general manager. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have sent him down after that. You wouldn't have done that. And then people agreeing and say, well, Terry Francona would have done that. There's no way on God's green earth he would have done that. We say things for attention. We have to say something with substance. Are we done with that now?
I think so.
Can I be done with this?
I think so.
Or am I going to get drugged into something else in 6 months?
Hey, we have 2 quarterbacks now. Every time I see any of their social media, it's them working out. Saw Deshaun Watson was in the facility throwing to Harold Fannin.
I have way more substantial conversations about Deshaun Watson, who nobody wants to see, than I've ever had about the other guy. Mary Kay Cabot literally boarding a plane, telling us about the Cleveland Browns, because there is no offseason to Mary Kay Cabot. Absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Yeah, I think some people are getting it confused. It's not. I just don't have a problem. Like, I want Shedeur to start. And we're going to get back to the Cavs and Donovan, because I knew I wanted something else I wanted to say, but then this kind of took off. There's people who want to get in about this and about everything. The credit being given to Deshaun Watson for coming back here. There's some people who got a problem with that. But I do think when it comes to the quarterback situation, I want Shedeur to start. Do you want Shedeur to start, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy who's called the biggest hater on the internet when it comes to Shedeur wants him to start. It's either you or Jason. Jason, who knows what that guy wants. You want him to start. I want him to start. I'd rather have that conversation about him. But I'm willing to accept Deshaun Watson starting because of all the reasons we've said for many, many months. New coach, new system, one guy's a veteran. I don't think it comes down to money. I don't think that Jimmy Haslam cares about money. I don't think he does. I think that they think about the cap hit, the implications, and they'll hold on to him for one more year. That being pointed out, it's not where it's better for him. Better for him is playing. I don't know where people got the idea that it was better for him.
What I just said this,
like Jonathan attacked that the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. I hope he doesn't think we're saying it.
Let me explain it better, because I said I think it might be more advantageous for him to start the season on the bench to allow the offensive line to gel, to allow all the young skill position players.
It can be advantageous,
because I know what's going to happen. Because the reason I'm jumping to that conclusion, and I get why a lot of people would find it counterintuitive. You know, you want guys in their second year to start right off the bat. The reason is I can already hear the excuses. The excuse-making machine that is some of the Shedeur fans will immediately say, if he struggles out of the gates, new offensive line. I mean, come on. They can't be expected to gel right away. Wait a second. Rookie wide receivers. We're targeting rookie wide receivers? Of course they're not going to be ready to go from day one.
You say they're excuses, but what if it ends up being true? Then,
well, it is. I mean, that is. Young players, tend to struggle out of the gates, and offensive lines tend to take time to gel. But, when all is said and done, like, when we talk about Tim Couch's struggles as a young player, we did the expansion team, expansion Browns, Chris Palmer, the head coach. This team was terrible. They set up the Browns to fail. All of that is true. Just like, yes, the 4-person quarterback derby last year did not help Shedeur.
Didn't help anybody.
I think we lean on something. Like, you can't tell me all, like, I've never heard a Shedeur fan actually admit that their quarterback wasn't that good last year. I just haven't heard one of them admit it. They jump to the excuses, which a lot of them are true. Excuses can also be justifications. But I just know that that's what's going to be said if he struggles out of the gates, if he wins the starting job.
Good old football conversations brought to you on The Fan, and it's presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years. It's guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Now, I think it's something that can be acceptable. Because the way you put it, you've always put it in a different way than I would. I try to have a better bedside manner about these things, try to be a little bit nicer about it. It's disappointing. I don't want it to happen that he sits if he sits at the beginning of the year. I want him to start. We want him to start. It's an official show stance.
Because we're going to wonder what it means. But why isn't he the starter?
I have to make it's up to him and it's up to the Browns, but it's really up to Shedeur to make the best of a tough situation there. Because obviously he wants to start. But then we looked at it. You're right. The offensive line, which you have 5 new pieces in, could very well struggle. So that would be an advantage maybe to the veteran. So you give them time. That's it. I'm just not going to meet anybody on it's better for Shedeur to sit. And if anybody said that, I think that they're wrong. I think that he should. I want him to start, but I only want him to start if he's ready. If he's not ready, then fine, I'll wait. And I don't care about the whole argument of it, of, well, Ken, if he's not ready, then when is he ever going to be ready? Maybe he'll be ready week 4. Or maybe we're just looking at a career backup. Maybe we always have to admit something like that in the back of our heads. I mean, we look forward to things for a reason. When he's ready to play, and I hope he's ready to play week 1, I want him to have a good, fair shot at it because I want the Browns to be able to win. And I do think that you can take advantage, not that it's better for him, but you can take advantage with the right attitude and effort to look at it and slow the game down from the sidelines, know what people are throwing at you, know the challenges which your offensive line is going to give you, know what challenges your new rookie wide receivers are going to give you because they're still rookies. The route tree is going to be a little bit different. The reading coverages as a wide receiver is going to be a little bit different because they shade it better in the NFL than what they're able to do it in college. So some of that's going to take a little bit of time. Hopefully he can take advantage of that when, not if, when he gets his chance. And that's going to be sooner than later.
Yeah, I can't wait, honestly. I know, what was it? Was it Jeremy Fowler that said this is like the quarterback competition, the most legitimate actual quarterback competition there is? I am excited about it, and I want to see what it looks like when they're actually wearing real uniforms and pads and jerseys and guys can hit a little bit.
Cool Ray in Bedford, you're next up on The Fan. Hello, Cool Ray.
Hey, good morning, fellas. First, let me get this out. Lima, you and Mary Kay are the reason why people on national media is saying you guys are Shedeur bashers. First, let's hit Mary Kay.
What?
I never really agreed with all her. I'm going to get there. First, with Mary Kay, I've never really agreed with all her takes. But to give Deshaun Watson credit for coming back to Cleveland or doing whatever he did, bringing his quarterback coach and therapist and all that, whoever he brought back, you don't give credit to that. That's not the time to do it right now. It was to do it when the Browns announced their head coach, like Shedeur. I'm a Shedeur fan. But when you want to, just like you got a new job, you want to impress your new boss, you show up, you do the work then. Don't come in now after you done had OTAs or mini camp or whatever it is y'all just did, and you see what you was up against, and now you running scared. That's what it sounds like to me. Now you know you got to step your game up. That's what it sounds like to me. I wasn't there. I didn't see any practice. But that's
an
what
interesting
it sounds.
interpretation.
Oh, can I tell you real quick? Cool, though, the reason he's getting, and you're right, nobody should really get credit for that. You're trying to win a job.
I made that joke right after, yeah.
But
I got to agree with Cool Ray.
The reason he's getting credit is because the guy was MIA the first chance he got once he got injured. Remember, we kept comparing him to Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott was hobbling around to go to the Cowboy games. Meanwhile, Deshaun's like, see ya, I'm in Miami. You guys have fun up there. Enjoy the cold.
All that being true, but the time to give flowers was to meet the new head coach of what Shedeur did before the office was unpacked. Shedeur showed up. That's what you do.
Because he ain't no dummy. He knows he has to earn that one way or the other, and everything's going to help.
Lima, you just said like it's best for Shedeur to sit. Or you said you never heard a Shedeur fan say he was bad.
Actually, that he was not a good quarterback last year.
Here it is. I'm a huge Shedeur fan. He was horrible last year, but you cannot discredit why he was horrible. That's what you guys are doing. Now, if he comes in and he looks bad, remember all Shedeur fans kept saying was give him a fair shot. Let him run with the number ones. Let him have a full training camp. He got that now. So if he comes in and look bad, and then it's the second thing you guys are just glancing over. You, Lima, was so scared to call this a rebuild when we called it a rebuild. No, it's not a rebuild. The Browns fans accepted this is a rebuild. But if he comes in and looks bad, not the offensive line, not the receivers, but if he looks bad himself, then we know what we have. Then you sit him down. Then you put Deshaun Watson in. No arguments, because he got his full training camp, he got his full practice, he got his full preseason.
Ray, I don't remember Tone saying that. I swear to God.
You said what now?
I don't remember Tone saying that or not saying it was a rebuild, not being willing to say it was a rebuild.
The here, I called and I was like, it's a rebuild. He was like, no, it's not a rebuild, it's a retool. Y'all kept calling it a retool.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I honestly kind of do remember going over the semantics of it. But now we know what it is. And by the way, if Shedeur struggles, I'm going to point out, just as I did last year,
Hooray, thank you for the call.
He had a lot of terrible things around him. Everything, the coaching, the line, everything. I also think he ran himself into sacks. That was part of a lot of rookies do. That wasn't some big
mystery.
Yeah, I'm not crushing Shedeur like he doesn't belong in the NFL. I saw some good things from him. I was just saying that it's got to be way better, because part of it is, and people don't like when I say this, he wasn't a first-round pick. If first-round picks get more opportunity than a fifth-round pick. That's just how the league works.
I mean, I've bagged on you, and I've kind of laughed at some of the things that people have made jokes. I mean, someone saying you had dolphin teeth yesterday was hilarious. Let's say it. But if it were that good, Deshaun wouldn't be in the conversation. They don't want to upset you. I don't like the conversation of what to sell to the fans, because what can you sell? We're going into a year you just traded away Myles Garrett. And I got people on the line who want to trade away Denzel Ward, literally. Guys, it ain't about selling. It's about who you want to see. The fans definitely want to see Shedeur Sanders over Deshaun Watson. I would say the bulk, not everybody, but I would say the vast majority of them want to see Shedeur Sanders over Deshaun Watson. If it were very, very good, he wouldn't be in the conversation. He would just stand on the sidelines. But it is in the conversation. So now the challenge is ahead of Shedeur Sanders. Hopefully he rises to that occasion. Coming up in 5 minutes. I said I was going to do this in this segment, but we got plenty of people wanting to get in on this. We're not going to be fair to anybody until LeBron hangs them up, because there's a weird conversation going on about Donovan Mitchell.